Now let's talk about that, Chair, because I know how much you pride yourself in the fact that you come from Ezwide in the township. But one would say that most entrepreneurs, especially in the township, tend to start businesses and they fail, and there's nothing wrong with failing, and they start over again. But most businesses get started and then only to find along the line they shut down because they bankrupt. What do you think? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's a lack of skill or entrepreneurs not understanding their market per se? I don't know what your thought is around that.
So recently, I was involved in a conversation with the father of a business partner of mine, a very prominent business guy. So he says to us, "Chaps, I see you're having something going on, and I wish you all the best. Don't be discouraged. You know, at CIPC, I'm probably registered to companies over 87 companies." He says to us.
Yeah.
And this says to us, you know, out of the 87 companies that were registered at CIPC, only 7 made it through. You know, and it's the nature of the beast that whether you are a small size business or a big size business, you've got many that will go away. I mean, I was reading the other day about Process, the company that owns Naspers,
Yes.
MultiChoice,
Yes.
DSTV. I mean, they've done some serious blunders trying to get into the e-commerce market. They've lost serious money. So whether it's a guy that started a car wash that did not work,
Okay.
or it's a guy that bought a mining a business, did not work, it's just the nature of the game that when you get into business, you've got others that are going to start and go well. You've got others that are going to, not succeed at all. But there are things, though, that we can do to cushion the number of companies that do not succeed. And it's good that you have someone here from NYDA.
Yes, yes.
Very, very important. Because one of the things that, I'm in technology and I try to understand why do guys that get out of university, done BCom science, develop apps, but they don't succeed. But
Okay, Chair, I'm sorry. Can we just link to an ad break and then let's carry on with this conversation. But because of television purpose, I'm going to link to an ad break and then you guys will join us right after this. So let's take a quick ad break while we carry on with the conversation. Do stay tuned. Yes, Chair, you can carry on.
So you get that black guy, white guy, NMU, Wits, or Stellenbosch, same qualification. But the black guy business does not succeed because there is generally a support problem.
Yes.
Generally for black business. The major problem, I think, is how we approach the whole issue of accessing capital to start the business. If you're going to go to a third party to access the capital, it's normally a very tedious and problematic problem. It actually starts with yourself. And I often say to people, never undermine the power of you not being on the credit bureau if you want to start a business, because when there is a due diligence done, yourself as a director, you're going to be tested if you are able to manage credit.
Yes.
Before people give credit to your company,
Yeah.
because you are the proxy of your company in the main, you are the one responsible for it. What I find that, generally speaking, with my exposure in big business, is that areas such as the Eastern Cape, if you go to the easier route, which is public sector funding, is that you have less chances to succeed.
Yes.
Because there are not many of these instruments that government has put into place to support local businesses. Historically, this area has been largely with CEDA and ECDC, historically. Then later, NYDA came into the picture, and ITC has been around, but ITC is dealing with bigger capital investment. So the guy that wants to start a car wash and stuff like that, he doesn't have access to that. So he probably has a huge pile of applications that with the allocations got, he cannot meet. So that's one problem.
Yes.
But the one for me that seems to have then reduced the rate of not succeeding is the initiatives done by private sector, such as the SA Brewery Kickstart program. For me, it seems to be the initiatives done by private sector are the
Yes,
ones that are able to bring people forward. Now, what government has done with the Enterprise Development Program, through DTIC, has now helped companies to make sure that they bring SMMEs on their databases so that they can procure from them. So that is the one thing. But I still do say, though, that you've got many SMMEs from the township, like myself, who started without funding.
Yes. Yes.
So it means that if now I have 10 Rand, I must now decide the 5 Rand in today's language is going to go to data, the other 5 Rand is going to contribute towards my vision, right? And I find that that approach of having personal initiatives to fund what you do is helpful. But it depends at the same time to the sector.
Yes.
Because if you're in the technical sector, that's not going to work. But if you're in the services sector, that's an easy thing to do, like maybe starting a tourism information business that you can do with your own car, take people around, So that's really the issue. And hopefully that I've covered you.
Yes, yes. I can only imagine that you guys come from a different era where things weren't as bad as they are now in terms of where young entrepreneurs can come into spaces and be afforded those opportunities and have access to all those resources. So what are your views and takes on that?
No, look, I think I'm going to practicalize it.
Okay.
If you look at a typical township family, it's a family household that's led by a woman. And in some instances, uglomama. A male figure is an uncle who's unemployed or works at a factory somewhere in Costin, Uha, or some other part of Nelson Mandela Bay. And in the township, there's families that are trying to make a living.
Yeah.
Some of my schoolmates hang around because they didn't get money to continue with their studies, although they passed well in grade 12. So generally for us to do real economic transformation, right? We must create the mentorship structures. And it has to be a generational mission. It has to be something that I consciously do as a person to contribute into a prosperous South Africa, right? It has to be, you have to be intentional about it. You have to be deliberate about it. All you need to do in the process is to sift the abuse of your time, right? You get a lot of people that inbox you for mentorship thing. Ukoba is just looking for Facebook photos with you. There's funny things that happen to inbox. Others they just have to get close to you. Mostly, I used to tease my friends, says, hey, these requests to mentor or sisters, we must now save them because it's not the mentoring that you want. So we've got to be deliberate about it. Because many of us are product of mentorship. Funny thing, yesterday I was watching, my kids always correct me when I call his name. You guys know Virgil Abloh?
Yes.
Virgil Abloh, I'm big on Virgil Abloh. I think him passing away, Virgil Abloh is the menswear designer for Louis Vuitton, right? And his background is just in Kanye West, it's just a very interesting story. And if you look at guys like Virgil, they will tell you that central to their success is mentorship. But that mentorship is driven by, we see a spark in your eye, then you catch our attention. Not the spark because you sing Sia doing it, now you want to do it to beat Sia. You know what I mean? So you've got a fire in your bones. And it attracts us, most of the guys that I've met, it's guys that I've seen, those Ubuntu Educational Trust in Sweden. They used to take us to schools. I've met guys up in UL. Those guys are married, they've got TV shows. I just saw fire in their poses. After something like this, we go and have tea, and then you want to talk to the guy. from the Q&A. So, you want to talk to the guy. That guy went to NMU. We pushed him to be in the SASCO in that context, and SRC. He became an activist, he became a leader, because we knew that some of the things to help people, to groom them for life leadership, is going to come either through church, either through a community forum, or either through a political organization. You've got to get involved, because the mentor itself does not have the package deal of your success.
Absolutely.
Right? So we do all these sort of things. So I see a lot of black guys like me who are doing it, by the way, and ladies who are doing girl child programs, who are doing all these sort of programs. But others, they think that mentorship is us sitting every Friday. No. It's a friendship. Like I was talking to some guy mentor, and I told him, I got that this one that you post on Facebook does not talk to where you're going. You see? Because they think mentorship is formal. Because look, sorry, I'm now your friend, I'm mentoring you, or you post something untoward on Facebook, I will tell you. No, but I think you must delete that.
It's that conscience.
Think about it. Think about it 3 years down the road. I think you'll regret that post. That's mentorship, because I've realized that people don't buy your business, they buy you, the jockey. You know what I mean? Ukuma umuntu oposta into ezibhoxayo ko-Facebook unezinto ezinjalo, kaloku also a reputational risk to all of us people that are associated with you.